Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Cropper here. I am very distressed to have found Zorio replying to my Kant series before I even got it all posted, which is fine. It's fine. He's replying to the videos verbatim, and it's kind of a high standard for exactness for this video series. And I was going to say to hell with it, and I was actually going to do a video where I come on camera and I say, Zorio, and then I would go off camera and I'd be done with this discussion about Kant. But I decided I was a little dismissive, and I was going to do some videos on Kant anyway. I was going to do videos on Kant, Hegel, Descartes, Socrates, a few of the philosophers. So here's a three-parter on Kant that we can get started with, I guess. Now, Zorio does some pretty crazy things in this video, but one of the weird things we're going to see is that in a bit here, he gets to the point
where reason works, because reason can't do everything. This is why he goes into practical reason, which is another arm of reason, but it's not pure reason, which is what the critique of pure reason is, obviously. So things like space and time, that's the limit.
Zorio actually asserts at a certain point in these videos here that reason is limited. And get this, here's why he says reason is limited. Because you can't imagine an object that takes up space without thinking of space. You can't imagine a thing existing without thinking of time, without thinking of it being extended and existing somewhere at some time, something. It has to be something. And he says if reason were unlimited, we would be able to hold contradictory ideas. He doesn't say it outright, but this is his conclusion. If that's a limit to reason, then what if reason were unlimited? Then we'd be able to imagine an object that takes up space even when we're not thinking about space. And we're not thinking about anything to do with space. And we're thinking of an object that takes up space. So what is that? A limit to reason that we can't hold a contradiction? That's what Zorio's going to get to. That's one of the ugliest parts. But please watch on. These are some interesting videos. A bowl of popcorn. Zone out when you need to. Some of it's a little esoteric, but follow it through, because Immanuel Kant's a really evil philosopher. And the more people that understand that ideas are important, the more people there will be on the side to fight for reason. So let's go ahead and...
Hey everybody, Michael here.
How you doing, Michael?
Mr. Cropper, this is another video.
Now, the interchange here between me and Zorio is not going to help Zorio. He is what he's what I refer to, and I heard this from Peikoff first, the term. He's what I refer to as a mental suicide. He wouldn't connect two ideas to save his life. I've said that before, and he refuted it, and I don't think he refuted it properly, and I still uphold it. Now, again and again, Zorio restates what I say in different words, as if it's some sort of distinction, different from what I've said, and he's actually just obfuscating. Worse than that, he's ignoring what I've said, basically. When I say the noumenal world is a delusion, and he says it is not a delusion. It is all the possibilities that we don't know about. It is all the things that we don't perceive. The noumenal world is the way that non-humans perceive the world, the way non-human things perceive the world. In other words, the phenomenal world is the only things humans know, and the noumenal world can never be known by humans. It's beyond humans. Humans can't get to it. First of all, how did Kant know about it? And how is that different from saying that the noumenal world is not real, only the phenomenal world is real? So we're going to start here on Kant, part 1. And as it stands right now, he has 7 videos up. Might go longer, I don't know. I haven't watched all the way to the end. And they're just so thick with bullshit. I thought I'd better stop watching them and go ahead and get the camera turned on. We'll watch them with the camera and do this as we go.
But there was a lot in this video alone that really needs to be responded to. So I'm just going to respond to it now. I have no idea how long this video is going to be. This might be...
He says there's a lot in my video that needs to be responded to. I would reply with the same. Zorio, there's a lot in your videos that need to be responded to. However, I'm afraid that I'm doing this not for you, but for other people. Somebody out there might, who didn't before, might gain the idea and understanding that philosophy is important, it moves history, that single individual philosophers are important, they can move whole epochs and eras. So I'm doing this for the sake of somebody out there who might be willing to connect two thoughts. But we'll just use Zorio's D mentality as as our vehicle. Just for those of you who know what the DIM hypothesis, DIM hypothesis is, Peikoff's DIM hypothesis, Zorio definitely is in the D category, and he is actually a D2. I would put Mr. Heltzerman, Randy Heltzerman, we'll put him in D1. Scientific discussion, probably D1. But we'll put Zorio here in D2. And I think the Caruths will probably put in D2 also. Now, the first part of his video, we go back and forth about the fact that I'm always quoting people on stuff. Now, honestly, I just do too many videos. If I knew everything about every subject I did, I would be an omniscient god. I mean, I believe it's important that people know about the Greeks, they know about Immanuel Kant, they know about the Dark Ages, they know about the problems in physics today. I believe those things are important things that everyone should know about, and so I try to do videos to inform them and give them sources to go know more. So I have no apologies for the fact that I don't know everything about some of the subjects I post on. And the thing is, here's this mentality, this academic mentality. First of all, you always have to cite your sources. You always have to give quotes and support your thesis, and say other authorities agree with me, and this is agreed upon by everybody, and there's committees that agree. And not only that, and you also have to say your own thing. You can't just follow others and just quote sources, yabba yabba yabba. I mean, it's just, they'll criticize you one way for the other and the other way for the one. You can't get around it. Because they are not against the method I use of just quoting sources, like I quote sources and I interpret it all from objectivism. They're not necessarily against that because they interpret it all from subjectivism. What they're against is my message of rationality.
Plato and reference, I don't know, the lackeys or the Republic or anything like that, and say, okay, well, here and here, I don't agree with what he says, and this is why. You never do that, Cropper. You never say why you disagree with him.
Is that true? I never say why I disagree?
Ever. You just say why other people disagree with him.
I just say why other people disagree with him. Do you see this? I have to quote an authority. I just can't come out and say stuff on my own. Then, when I come out and quote an authority and say, so-and-so's got a doctorate in philosophy or whatever, and he studies this subject, and here's what he says about Kant, or here's what he says about physics or whatever, I just quote what other people say about it. Now, is it the case that I cannot agree with those other people, or that if I agree I'm somehow being lazy? Is that the case? He won't accept it because I'm just quoting from other people. Is that the case that that my video has no value whatsoever because I'm not the one who thought up all the stuff I say in it? Because I gather information, package it, and give it to people? The information that I package together doesn't all come from my mind and my mouth, and therefore, what? I don't get it. Why can't I quote somebody about Immanuel Kant?
And you take them at their word that they're presenting, say, Kant objectively.
And I just take them at their word. I never go and read the source myself. Now, that's true to a great extent. You do need to read original sources and not just take things for granted. But if you study a thing I read Kant's excerpts from Kant in philosophy classes in college, and I saw no difference between what other people said Kant was saying and what the objectivists say Kant is saying. Zorio here explains again and again in the exact same words